Hello, Matrima, and you're watching Hornbill TV's Prime Time. Now headlines. Operation Sundu, India's military operation in response to the Pahalgam terror attack, is ongoing and represents a shift in India's strategic posture, according to sources. Indian Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi has given the green light to all army commanders in the western borders to launch counter-reaction if the understanding reached between India and Pakistan's DJMOs on Saturday is violated. Russian President Vladimir Putin's proposed peace talks with Ukraine will take into account an abundant 2022 draft deal between the two countries and the reality of Russia's control of almost a fifth of Ukraine, the Kremlin said on Sunday. Russian President Vladimir Putin on May 11 proposed direct talks with Ukraine on May 15 in Istanbul that he said should be aimed at achieving a durable peace and eliminating the root causes of the war. Operation Sundu, India's military operation in response to the Pahalgam terror attack, is ongoing and represents a shift in India's strategic posture, according to sources. The operation, which involved precision strikes on terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, aimed to hold those responsible for the attack accountable. Sources confirm that the operation is not over and signals a new normal in India's approach to encounter terrorism, emphasizing that Pakistan must accept the new reality and cannot accept business as usual. Sources told ANI Operation Sundu is not over. There is new normal. The world has to accept this. Pakistan has to accept this. It cannot be business as usual. Earlier on Sunday, President Donald Trump welcomed the cessation of hostilities between India and Pakistan, saying that millions of people could have died if the peace had not been worked out. The US president was making a reference to a potential nuclear fallout between the two nations. The State Investigation Agency SIA Kashmir carried out searches at 20 locations across South Kashmir on Sunday in connection with an ongoing terror conspiracy case. The raids come amid increased surveillance of terror associates and overground workers, OGWs, allegedly acting as conduits for Pakistan-based handlers. According to police officials, Jammu and Kashmir police is keeping a surveillance on the terror associates and overground workers, OGW, working in Kashmir. Technical intelligence indicated that a host of sleeper cells in Kashmir were in direct contact with their handlers based in Pakistan and were involved in conveying sensitive and strategic information about security forces and vital installations via messaging apps, including but not limited to WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal, and so on. These terror associates were also involved in online radical propaganda on the behest of terrorist commanders of Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed, impinging upon the national security and integrity. Indian Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi has given the green light to all army commanders in the western borders to launch counter-action if understanding reached between India and Pakistan's DJMOs on Saturday is violated. There has been no outbreak of hostilities after the Director General of Military Operations DJMOs of both sides spoke yesterday evening, an hour before the announcement that an understanding had been reached came yesterday. Sources had said India will consider any future act of terror by Pakistan an act of war and will respond accordingly. The army said the COAS has granted full authority to the army commanders for counteraction in the kinetic domain to any violation of the understanding which vied the DJMO talks to 10 May 2025. Kinetic domain in the military context refers to any movement of the action of firing a weapon. The hostilities began with the killing of 26 tourists by Pakistan-linked terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam on April 22nd. Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on Sunday said that the impact of India's armed forces was felt as far as Pakistan's Rawalpindi, where the headquarters of the Pakistani army is located. He said the Indian forces delivered to Islamabad a strong message by striking their military positions. Singh made the remarks during the inauguration of the BrahMos aerospace integration and testing facility at the Uttar Pradesh Defence Industrial Corridor in Lucknow. He inaugurated the facility virtually from Delhi. During his address, Singh said that India's Operation Sundu is not just a military action but a symbol of India's political, social and strategic will.
साथियों, 11 मई को पोखरण से जो आत्मविश्वास प्रारंभ हुआ था, आज लखनऊ में वह और मजबूत हो रहा है। साथियों, अपनी बात समाप्त करने के पहले मैं कहना चाहता हूं, जिन भारत विरोधी और आतंकी संगठनों ने भारत माता के मस्तक पर हमला करके कई परिवारों के सिंदूर मिटाए थे, उन्हें भारतीय सेना ने ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के माध्यम से इंसाफ दिलाने का काम किया है। और इसके लिए आज सारा देश भारतीय सेनाओं का अभिनंदन कर रहा है। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर सिर्फ एक सैन्य कार्रवाई भर नहीं है, बल्कि भारत की राजनैतिक, सामाजिक और सामरिक इच्छा शक्ति का प्रतीक है। यह ऑपरेशन आतंकवाद के खिलाफ भारत की दृढ़ इच्छा शक्ति का और सैन्य शक्ति की क्षमता और संकल्प शक्ति का भी प्रदर्शन है। हमने दिखाया है, भारत आतंकवाद के खिलाफ जब भी कोई कार्रवाई करेगा तो आतंकवादियों और उनके आकाओं के लिए सरहद पार की जमीन भी सुरक्षित नहीं रहेगी। भारतीय सेनाओं ने ऑपरेशन सिंदूर को पाकिस्तान में मौजूद आतंकी ढांचा ढहाने के उद्देश्य से लॉन्च किया था। हमने उनके आम नागरिकों को कभी निशाना नहीं बनाया था, मगर पाकिस्तान ने न केवल भारत के नागरिक इलाकों को निशाना बनाया, बल्कि मंदिर, गुरुद्वारा, गिरजाघर पर भी हमले करने का प्रयास किया। भारतीय सेना ने शौर्य और पराक्रम के साथ साथ संयम का भी परिचय देते हुए पाकिस्तान के अन्य ठिकानों पर भी प्रहार करके करारा जवाब दिया है। हमने केवल सीमा से सटे सैन्य ठिकानों पर ही नहीं कार्रवाई की, बल्कि भारत की सेनाओं की धमक उस रावलपिंडी तक सुनी गई जहां पाकिस्तानी फौज का हेडक्वार्टर मौजूद है। मित्रों, भारत में आतंकवादी घटनाएं करने और कराने का क्या अंजाम होता है, यह पूरे विश्व ने उरी की घटना के बाद देखा, जब हमारी सेना ने पाकिस्तान में घुसकर सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक की। पुलवामा के बाद देखा, जब बालाकोट पर एयर स्ट्राइक की गई, और अब पहलगाम की घटना के बाद दुनिया देख रही है कि जब भारत ने पाकिस्तान के भीतर घुसकर मल्टीपल स्ट्राइक्स की हैं। आतंकवाद के खिलाफ जीरो टॉलरेंस की नीति पर चलते हुए हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने स्पष्ट कर दिया है कि यह नया भारत है जो आतंक के खिलाफ सरहद के इस पार और उस पार दोनों तरफ प्रभावी कार्रवाई करेगा। यह हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने स्पष्ट रूप से यह संदेश दे दिया है।
Take a short break. Keep watching.
दीवार पे कितना डैम्प है यार, पिलर में भी फ्रैक्चर।
मैं तो नाम वाला सीमेंट ही लाया था,
किसी काम का नहीं निकला।
सीमेंट सिर्फ नाम वाला हो तो घर हॉरर स्टोरी बन सकता है, इसीलिए लाएं काम वाला सीमेंट। ब्लैक टाइगर सीमेंट का सुपर फाइन बॉन्ड और हाई कंप्रेसिव स्ट्रेंथ बनाए घर का कोना कोना मजबूत। ब्लैक टाइगर सीमेंट, कमाल का काम, टाइगर है नाम।
इंडिया दे फूड वेस्टेज तो बेसी डांगर दरकार आसे। बेसी मानु रातिते भात नाखाई किना घुमा भी आसे। आमी खान कोम्बा खोताते ध्यान राखिले इन्वायरमेंट और दूसरा मानु के मदद करिबोले पारिबो। आमी खान इतु 6टा खोता के ध्यान राखिले एकटा रिस्पॉन्सिबल ईट राइट सिटीजन होबो। किमान लागे इमान ही किनिबी। फूड वेस्टेज न होबो कारणे कमटी सर्विंग्स ही लुबी। खाना बची जाइले ना फेलाबी और पर्यातक बचिया खाना तो अलग सब्जीते भी चोलाबी। दाल चना और अलग सुखा खाना तो हवा न जाबोले लगा दबाते रखिबी। पत्ता सब्जी फ्रूट्स दूध दही खान तो खुदाई फ्रिज दे रखिबी। बची जा खाना तो आसपास लगे मानु खान के दी दिबी। और आखिरते पत्ता सब्जी फ्रूट्स खान तो रिसाइकल करिकिना खाद बनाबी।
दीवार पे कितना डैम्प है यार, पिलर में भी फ्रैक्चर।
मैं तो नाम वाला सीमेंट ही लाया था।
किसी काम का नहीं निकला।
सीमेंट सिर्फ नाम वाला हो तो घर हॉरर स्टोरी बन सकता है, इसीलिए लाएं काम वाला सीमेंट। ब्लैक टाइगर सीमेंट का सुपर फाइन बॉन्ड और हाई कंप्रेसिव स्ट्रेंथ बनाए घर का कोना कोना मजबूत। ब्लैक टाइगर सीमेंट, कमाल का काम, टाइगर है नाम।
Every day goes through 136 quality checks, giving you a thick and tasty, perfect cup of tea. No wonder Nestle Everyday is your #1 choice.
ब्लैक टाइगर सीमेंट, कमाल का काम, टाइगर है नाम।
President Vladimir Putin's proposed peace talks with Ukraine will take into account an abundant 2022 draft deal between the two countries and the reality of Russia's control of almost a fifth of Ukraine, the Kremlin said on Sunday. Putin on Sunday proposed direct talks with Ukraine aimed at bringing a durable peace to end the war, an initiative welcomed by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who said Kyiv was willing to talk, but the Moscow must first agree to an immediate ceasefire. Kremlin foreign policy aide Yuri Yushakov told reporters after Putin's early morning statement that the proposed talks would take into account both the draft abandoned in 2022 and the current situation on the ground. Days after Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, Russia and Ukraine began talks in Belarus that later moved to Istanbul. A draft agreed there setting out a framework for a possible settlement because known as the Istanbul Communique. The talks to break off in May, but Russian officials had long argued that a settlement can be reached along the lines of the Istanbul Communique. Russian President Vladimir Putin on May 11 proposed direct talks with Ukraine on May 15 in Istanbul that he said should be aimed at achieving a durable peace and eliminating the root causes of the war. Putin sent thousands of troops in Ukraine in February 2022, triggering the gravest confrontation between Russia and the West since the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis. He said that Russia was proposing direct talks with Ukraine in Istanbul in an attempt to eliminate the root cause of the conflict and to achieve the restoration of a long-term lasting peace.
On many occasions, we proposed to cease fire and never declined to dialogue with the Ukrainian party. Let me also remind you that it wasn't us who suspended or stopped talks in 2022. It was the Ukrainian side. And in this respect, against all odds, we proposed to the Kyiv authorities to resume the talks they stopped and terminated in April 2022. I'm referring to direct talks without any preconditions, and we propose to start immediately on next Thursday, on the 15th of May, in Istanbul, the venue that held them before. Well, it is well known that the Turkish colleagues organized proposed their services to organize such talks, and President Erdogan did a lot to organize those talks in the past. As a result of those talks back then, a draft of joint agreement was prepared and initialed by the head of the Kyiv negotiating teams, but upon the behest of the West, it was thrown into the litter bin. Tomorrow, a phone conversation is planned with the Turkish President Erdogan, and I would ask him to provide this opportunity to hold talks in Turkey. I really hope that he will confirm his desire to facilitate peace in Ukraine. We are committed to holding serious talks with Ukraine in order to eliminate the root causes of the conflict, to arrive at a enduring, long-lasting peace in the long run, in a long historical run. I cannot rule out that during those talks we will be able to negotiate and come to terms over new ceasefires or truces, real ones that would be respected not only by Russia but the Ukrainian side, and would be a first step to a long-lasting, enduring peace, not a prologue to continuing the armed conflict after re-equipping and rearming and digging trenches and new defensive checkpoints.
Take another short break. Keep watching.
दीवार पे कितना डैम्प है यार, पिलर में भी फ्रैक्चर।
मैं तो नाम वाला सीमेंट ही लाया था।
किसी काम का नहीं निकला।
सीमेंट सिर्फ नाम वाला हो तो घर हॉरर स्टोरी बन सकता है, इसीलिए लाएं काम वाला सीमेंट। ब्लैक टाइगर सीमेंट का सुपर फाइन बॉन्ड और हाई कंप्रेसिव स्ट्रेंथ बनाए घर का कोना कोना मजबूत। ब्लैक टाइगर सीमेंट, कमाल का काम, टाइगर है नाम।
State Institute of Hotel Management Dimapur Academic Year 2025-26 निमित्ते एडमिशन शुरू होइছে। SIHM Dimapur offer kuri ase hospitality aro hotel administration de 3 sal laga bachelor's degree kundu NCHMCT logot affiliated ase aro degree certificate to Jawaharlal Nehru University New Delhi bra award koribo। Food production aro food and beverage service laga 1.5 year diploma program bi offer kuri ase SIHM Dimapur de। SIHM Dimapur laga mission do quality education aro personal growth ase। Institute laga dedicated faculty, experienced mentors aro hands-on learning environments pra students can get training di ase। Etu egla nohoi yate career ge age loi jabole nimite state of the art infrastructure, top package, thaga laga bishi bhal placement, maiki mota nimite alag alag hostels aro strong industry partnerships bi di ase। Apni luxury resort manage koribole nohole bi cruise line de chef hobole sapna ase bole SIHM Dimapur apni ke success koribole launch pad ase। तो नारुखीना जल्दी करिबी एडमिशन खोला আছে আৰু বিচনকাৰী লবলে কল কৰিবি 9233895656 9863177951 day visit www.shmdimapur.com।
दीवार पे कितना डैम्प है यार, पिलर में भी फ्रैक्चर।
मैं तो नाम वाला सीमेंट ही लाया था।
किसी काम का नहीं निकला।
सीमेंट सिर्फ नाम वाला हो तो घर हॉरर स्टोरी बन सकता है, इसीलिए लाएं काम वाला सीमेंट। ब्लैक टाइगर सीमेंट का सुपर फाइन बॉन्ड और हाई कंप्रेसिव स्ट्रेंथ बनाए घर का कोना कोना मजबूत। ब्लैक टाइगर सीमेंट, कमाल का काम, टाइगर है नाम।
Beautiful Home Studio Atrio Guwahati from Asian Paints is a space that kindles a connection, making every corner of your home come alive. Step inside to experience the aesthetics and the unparalleled comfort provided our home decor collection. It is not a studio, but a million possibilities that let you reimagine your home in your way.
दीवार पे कितना डैम्प है यार, पिलर में भी फ्रैक्चर।
मैं तो नाम वाला सीमेंट ही लाया था।
किसी काम का नहीं निकला।
सीमेंट सिर्फ नाम वाला हो तो घर हॉरर स्टोरी बन सकता है, इसीलिए लाएं काम वाला सीमेंट। ब्लैक टाइगर सीमेंट का सुपर फाइन बॉन्ड और हाई कंप्रेसिव स्ट्रेंथ।
Welcome back. Congress MP Shashi Tharoor on Sunday said 1971 was a great achievement. Indira Gandhi rewrote the map of the subcontinent, but the circumstances were different. Bangladesh was fighting a moral cause and liberating Bangladesh was a clear objective. Just keeping on firing shells at Pakistan is not a clear objective, he said.
The whole idea of this book launch is to celebrate the Constitution as a living document, an evolving document, a document that is relevant to the lives of every Indian, but it takes different shape at different times. We've had 106 amendments since it was first passed. There have been a number of judgments of the Supreme Court that have changed the way it applies. There have been serious issues, disputes, cases going on. It's all part of the fabric of the political, social life of Indians every day, not just legal. So it's a book that tries to demystify the Constitution for ordinary people. It's not written for lawyers, it's not written for constitutional scholars, but for you and me, just to appreciate what the Constitution means in our lives.
Sir, a big development happened between India and Pak, sir. What's your take on it? Because now on all social media, Indira Gandhi is trending and Congress party is saying that Indira is iron lady.
See, the fact is that to my mind, we had reached a stage where the escalation was needlessly getting out of control. Peace is necessary for us. The truth is that the circumstances of 1971 are not the circumstances of 2025. There are differences. As far as I'm concerned, I believe that the people of India deserve peace. We have suffered a lot. We have lost a lot of casualties. Ask the people of Poonch how many have died since this war began and the shelling from the Pakistanis. I'm not saying that we should always stop wars. When there are reasons to continue them, we should continue. But this was not a war we intended to continue. We just wanted to teach the terrorists a lesson. That lesson has been taught. I'm sure the government will continue trying to identify and track the specific individuals who did the horrors of Pahalgam. But as far as this particular conflict with Pakistan was concerned, there was no reason to risk the loss of more lives and limbs and fortunes. We need to focus on the well-being and prosperity of Indian people, of growth, development, progress. I think the peace is the right way to go at this stage.
Sir, India's position on terrorism will be, remains the same.
Our position on terrorism will not change.
The way the government took few steps like underwater will be suspended, there will be other measures also.
Other measures have to be taken. I think we have to definitely use all the intelligence means available to find these people who did this terrible crime in Pahalgam, to identify them, track them down wherever they are and bring them to justice. That is indispensable. It may not happen overnight. It may take months, it may take years, but we will have to do it. No one should be allowed to get away with killing innocent Indian civilians. But that doesn't mean we should put the entire nation at risk in a prolonged war. So I'm in favor of peace, but I do not in any way suggest that we should stop the quest to find these terrorists and bring them to justice.
One last question, sir. Are you happy with the Prime Minister Modi's rap and you're still missing Indira Gandhi ji?
Look, I think 1971 was a great achievement of our history. I'm proud of it as an Indian. Indira Gandhi ji rewrote the map of the subcontinent, but the circumstances were different. Today's Pakistan is a different situation. Their equipment, their military equipment, the damage they can do, everything is different. And the circumstances of Bangladesh, we were fighting a moral cause to actually bring people to freedom and liberation. That was a completely different story. This is a different story. We would have ended up with a much longer, protracted conflict with a lot of loss of life on both sides, a lot of damage, a lot of expense. Is this the biggest priority for India today? No, it's not. We wanted to teach those who had sent these terrorists across that there is a price to be paid. We still have to catch the individual terrorist perpetrators, but we do not need to tie the whole country down in a war. That is something I've been very clear about from the start. India did not, I believe, at any stage see the action of the 7th as the beginning or the opening salvo of a long protracted conflict. For us it was one-off. We'll do it. If Pakistan did not escalate, we would not have escalated. Pakistan did, we also did. It was getting to a point where if it continued like this, we would needlessly have been caught into a long drawn-out war without a clear objective at the end of it. Liberating Bangladesh is a clear objective. Just keeping on firing shells at Pakistan is not a clear objective. You see the difference.
That's all we have for now. Keep watching Hornbill TV.